Many moons ago, or rather on one quietly enchanted morning, in a kingdom of marble and music, of waltzes, palaces, and horses treated like minor royalty, you'll find Vienna. To the world, a city of grand museums and even grander ballrooms. But to one young woman, it wasn't just history waiting behind those grand doors. It was the perfect beginning to a story. One where, with the right dress and just enough courage, a perfectly ordinary girl might find herself waltzing straight into her own fairy tale. Or at the very least, into a very glamorous evening fit for a princess. And so, with soft rain pattering against the window pane and just a hint of magic in the air, we find her. Unaware, for now, that this quiet morning is the beginning of a day that will live on in her memory, like a story told by someone who believes in magic.
Dear Diary, I think I need to be pinched because I must be dreaming. I've woken in a city wrapped in mist. I'm here in Vienna. This morning feels like the kind that exists only in movies, the kind of movies I usually cry over. How again is this my real life? I keep asking myself this. Right now, I'm writing from a velvet chair beside the window, wrapped in a robe far too luxurious for someone who still hasn't brushed her hair this morning. Or her teeth. Sorry, that was too much information. There are horse-drawn carriages passing below my window, a gown waiting in the wardrobe, and tonight we are going to a ball. And not just any ball, the Vienna Philharmonic Ball, which sounds like a chapter in a fairy tale, I know, but I can confirm it exists and it is as magical as it sounds.
What's this? We take a quick trip back in time, to the early stages of planning, and to a word from the sponsor of this video, Maddalena.
Yes. Before the gown and the waltzing, there was this. My laptop open, claw clip in hair, and me playing royal assistant to my own future fairy tale. Maddalena is a great tool for organizing any type of creative project. It allows you to collect notes, images, videos, tasks, and more all in one place. I am so excited to be partnering with Maddalena again. I use Maddalena all the time to organize my video projects and plan the stories that I want to tell. Let me show you what it looks like. For this video, I made a master board with everything: filming locations, a shot list, dates and travel information, music I might use, visual references, and even a color palette. If it lives in my brain, it ends up on Maddalena. One of my favorite parts is this handy dandy web clipper, which lets me pull in images from all over the internet. It can be Pinterest, it could be Google. It goes straight into my board with one click. Which means instead of writing 100 notes on scrap pieces of paper, I can actually see how everything is coming together visually. And for someone like me who thinks in images, feelings, and soundtracks, this is everything. With every video project, I always create a mood board to really help me visualize what I want the final video to feel like, and Maddalena makes this part really fun. I can add text, I can draw, I can add color swatches, stickers, GIFs. It's kind of like scrapbooking, and I'm obsessed. Whether you're a content creator, filmmaker, or just the kind of person who makes a mood board for any event or occasion, hi, that's me, Maddalena has over 100 templates to help you get started. Maddalena is completely free to use with no time limit, and you can sign up using the link down in the description.
Now then, let's get back to our heroine, shall we?
Good morning. Welcome to Vienna. Today, I want to kind of imagine what it must have been like back in the 1800s when balls first became more popular among ordinary people, not just royalty or the very, very wealthy. It was Emperor Joseph II, I think, who introduced balls to the public, to ordinary folk.
She's a perfectly ordinary girl.
And I think it was in order to make dancing and ball culture in general more widely popular. Many women would spend their days kind of princessing and pampering themselves to prepare for the ball and do more like the royals would. So that is my plan for today. I want to have like a princess royal day to prepare myself for the ball this evening. Royal immersion, if you will. It is quite rainy and very gray outside, but I prefer to think that it is cozy. Honestly, I think a ball in the rain actually sounds quite elegant and fitting. I think rain and dancing pair well together. So I'm just gonna go get dressed and then we are going to head out to the palace. What is life? What is this life?
Now, every princess in the making, with any sense about her, knows that before one can waltz into a palace, one must first look the part. She did her best at an honest attempt to look like she did this sort of thing all the time. As casually as one can, while heading to a royal palace, she set off. If only she knew how near it truly was, and how far from ordinary her day was about to become.
I had to keep myself from squealing in the back of this taxi for fear that the driver would judge me, rightfully so, as the tourist that I am. But how can one be expected to act normal when driving through a city that feels like a moving painting? As I watched the city go by, I tried to memorize every detail. The streetlights on the wet cobblestones, the way the buildings look like they hold 1,000 stories, because they do, and what I would give to know them. Ugh, maybe time travel isn't real, but walking through Vienna might just be the closest thing to it. As it stands, here's my running list of things I've learned about Vienna since stepping off the plane and into this fairy tale city. Number 1, apparently in the heart of the city, there's an actual butterfly house. I didn't get a chance to visit on this trip, but you best believe it's straight at the top of my list for my next visit. Number 2, Vienna's ball season officially begins in mid-November, but things really reach their peak in January and February, when the city hosts over 300 balls. That adds up to more than 2,000 hours of dancing. At least I think it does. I'm not a math girl. Number 3, Princess Elizabeth of Austria, or better known as Sisi, was and still is considered one of the most beautiful women in European history. But for her, beauty wasn't vanity. It was a kind of armor, a way to wield her own power. Her hair alone was legendary, so long it touched the floor, had its own personal hairdresser who followed Sisi around everywhere. It took more than 3 hours a day to craft her iconic hairstyles, and the hairdresser wore white gloves and wasn't allowed to wear rings for fear of damaging Sisi's hair. Number 4. While I've never been to Versailles, I've been told Schönbrunns Palace is like Versailles' Austrian sister, very much alike in elegance and with the most incredible murals on the ceiling. Oh my goodness. Marie Antoinette herself spent many springs and summers here, which feels so crazy to think about while walking these halls. And number 5. If you take a morning stroll through the bird garden behind Hofburg Palace, you might spot the famous Lipizzaner stallions. Vienna has a way of treating horses like the royalty that they are. In fact, carriage horses here only work a few hours a day and spend their off time in pastures. Their mental health and overall well-being is taken very seriously in this city, which just convinces me even more that Vienna is indeed a land of fairy tales, and you cannot convince me otherwise. That concludes my Vienna observations for now. But now, if I'm going to commit to this Princess Day properly, there is a certain chocolate cake I need to find.
We should get it to go, yeah?
Yeah, we'll just go to the to-go window.
It's so pretty in there.
Ah, yes, the Sacher Torte, Empress Cece's personal favorite. And, naturally, a vital stop on our heroine's royal itinerary.
Little did we know they would be completely booked. We should have done our research better. All I really care about is that we get to try it. So Jared found a to-go window. It says you can take it back to your hotel and enjoy it. This is the original Sacher Torte, size 1. So I guess this is what, I guess we're getting a whole cake to treat ourselves.
A takeaway window isn't exactly the royal protocol, but our heroine is resourceful, and cake is cake.
What's wrong with it? I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go.
Okay, so not quite how the Empress would have enjoyed her torte, I'll admit. But honestly, I think this view is far grander than any cafe we could have eaten in. Unboxing a Sacher Torte, I hope I'm saying that properly by the way, on a palace-like balcony, slightly more iconic than sitting indoors if you ask me. Oh, that smells really good. Cheers. I was gonna cheers you and it just fell off. Cheers!
Oh, thank you.
There's this flavor I can't pinpoint. I can't pinpoint it, but it's like floral with chocolate. That's really nice though. It's really sweet.
What's your star rating?
But you know what? The consistency is a little bit grainy. It's not like a Victoria sponge. I don't know how I feel about it.
It's made, I think it's just made a little drier, but like...
I feel like
It's good.
maybe the hype was a little too hyped. Or if it's just meant to be a drier cake. Chocolate's really nice.
Overall. 4
I'm
stars.
over here like shoving my face in it. There's a fine art to preparing for a ball, or so I'm led to believe by all the period dramas I've binged. And mine involves dessert, a bathroom turned to spa, and a playlist that feels like a movie soundtrack.
I waited till I saw the sun. I don't know why I didn't come. I left you by the house of fun. I don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come.
With the pampering now complete, and the tea a bit neglected, but in my defense, there was chocolate, and it deserved my full attention, rightfully so. But now it's time for a very essential fairy tale step, a visit to my fairy godmother for a princess glow-up.
Every fairy tale heroine has her fairy godmother. Ours? She goes by Caroline, and she doesn't need a wand.
You know when someone is so good at their job, it feels like wizardry? That's Caroline. I swear she has actual magic up her sleeves. You show her a dress, and she already knows what your hair needs to look like before you've even opened your mouth. I don't know how she does it, but she makes it feel like she's known your hair its whole life. Like she has this sixth sense, but for beauty. Also, the whole salon spoke English, which was honestly the loveliest surprise. It made the whole princess makeover in a foreign country thing feel a lot less intimidating and a lot more Cinderella.
And now, thanks to the help of one very real-life Paolo, our heroine's royal reveal awaits.
Because, Majesty, only Paolo can take this and give you
A princess.
Okay, deep breaths, no turning back. I may officially look the part now, but I've still got 1,000 butterflies fluttering around inside me. It feels like they're going to burst through my fingertips. The sun is setting, the clock is ticking, and I keep thinking, what if I forget the dances? What if I trip and fall on my face? But then again, what if tonight is even more magical than I imagined? Which honestly doesn't feel possible. I've got an incredible imagination. But if this isn't the beginning of a fairy tale, I don't know what is.
With moonlight as their spotlight and Vienna as their stage, she in green, he in tails, they set off into a night they'd never forget.
Running to a ball in heels was probably not my smartest move. Between that and some rain, we arrived a few minutes late, which is very on brand for me, unfortunately. But we made it just as the debutantes started to perform. Perfect timing if you ignore the fact that I was still catching my breath. But enough about me. These debutantes are proof that real-life princess training still exists. And don't even get me started on the orchestra. Those violins alone make me believe in magic. You know that moment in every fairy tale when the princess walks into the ballroom and everything goes quiet? Yeah, that didn't happen, obviously, but there was a full live orchestra and the chandeliers did sparkle. And for a second, I really did feel like I'd stepped straight into Cinderella's shoes, only with a bit less, grace and slightly more panic about remembering how to waltz. And even how to pose for pictures. At one point, we filmed a TikTok, which felt hilariously out of place. Like, imagine pausing a Jane Austen novel for a trending audio. It felt slightly illegal in a place so historic. So here's the thing about Viennese balls. Yes, they are real, and no, you don't need an invitation from a duke to attend one. The ball season runs from November to February, like I mentioned previously, with the biggest ones, like this one, the Vienna Philharmonic Ball, and the Opera Ball, happening in January and February. And you can actually just buy tickets online. They start around 170 euros, which honestly, that is decently cheaper than a lot of concert tickets I've purchased. Students can even get discounted tickets, which I think is very iconic of Vienna. The dress code is strict, but in a really magical way. The men are expected to wear a tailcoat, or frack in German, which includes a white bow tie, a white waistcoat, and black formal shoes. And women wear floor-length evening gowns. For many, that will also include gloves, jewelry, and for the debutantes, tiaras. And once you arrive, the whole night feels like a carefully choreographed dream. There's an opening ceremony with a live performance by the Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra. which is unreal, by the way. Debutantes in white gowns and tiaras. Everyone joins in the debutantes in a Viennese waltz, and then the floor opens up and it's time to dance. I met ballet dancers, musicians, artists. Everyone was so lovely and welcoming, and I loved that everyone looked like they'd stepped out of a period drama, like real life Mr. Darcy's and Princess Diaries extras dancing around everywhere. And I'd just like to inform you, in case you didn't already know, Austrians, they know how to celebrate art in the most elegant way while having the most incredible time doing it. I never wanted it to end.
Around 3 a.m., our heroine and her prince hit a wall. Luckily, the cure for exhaustion at a Viennese ball is simple: more dancing. There's a right way to waltz, a wrong way to waltz, and then there's whatever Jared is doing here. After a quick regroup, they decided to toss the rulebook and dance to the beat of their own hearts.
If I haven't convinced you yet that the balls in Vienna are real-life fairy tales, let me tell you about this tradition that I still think about all the time. At 5 a.m., after one final waltz, the music suddenly fades and everyone starts plucking their favorite roses from the arrangements around the room, the hallways, everywhere. At first, I had no idea what was going on, but then I realized it's the most romantic souvenir imaginable, a way to take a little piece of the magic home. I only took a few because I do have the sad reality of having to travel with a suitcase a day later. Then, still wrapped in the enchantment of the evening and running purely on magic and adrenaline, we wandered back through the moonlit streets to our hotel. We gathered with friends for breakfast because apparently the only proper way to end a Viennese ball is with friends and breakfast before finally heading off to sleep. That's really bright. Good morning, friends. Actually, well, I mean, it's not morning. It is 1:28 p.m. But that's because we went to bed, I think, around 6:45, 7, and we slept for a few hours, and now we're back up. We have to leave the hotel tonight at 3 a.m. to catch 4 a.m. to catch a 7 a.m. flight. So our sleeping schedule is just all weird, but we took a little nap and I did not take off my makeup or my hair. I was able to get in my pajamas though. The dress had to come off. Oh my gosh though, what a magical, enchanting whirlwind of a night. I'm really serious when I say I don't know that I will ever do anything as incredibly magical and special as attending a Viennese ball, specifically the Philharmonic Ball. It really is like Cinderella. I feel like I turn into a princess and everything is just sprinkled with magic, and I have the most fun that I ever have dancing on that ballroom floor, watching the debutantes. I cried at the beginning, I cried last year, I cried again this year. Everything all put together is just an experience like none other. I'm so happy you joined me for it. It was so much fun. I need to write it all down in my journal. If there's anything that you have ever really wanted to do or try, or maybe something you've never even thought to dream about, but you've thought maybe in passing, like, oh, that would be nice. Allow yourself to dream about these things and allow yourself to manifest them. I'm not saying just by thinking about it, you're going to manifest it into your life, but I do think there is power behind our thoughts and where we let them go. I would have never ever thought about coming to a ball in Vienna, but my parents went to balls and it's always been in the back of my mind, like, oh, I could maybe do that someday. And then talking to Maddalena about ball season, I was thinking about it. And then at the beginning of the new year last year, I just thought, like, why have I been thinking about these things and never doing anything to maybe take a few steps closer to experiencing them? Think about these things, dream about these things, maybe even make a vision board, print pictures out of the life or the experiences that you want to have. Plant some dreams and maybe give them a little bit of water and see if any of them grow. It's better than having an empty garden bed up in your brain. Next year, you could be in a hotel room in Vienna attending a ball. I'm so grateful. I already said it. What is my life? What is life? How did I get to experience such magic? I don't know, but I'm so grateful. I could make a whole YouTube video just talking about how grateful and happy and ecstatic. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Until next time, I love you and I will see you very soon in a new video. Bye, friends. Oh my gosh, that was not as heavy as I thought it was.
Now you see, just over here, around this corner, is a rare sighting of the beauty. The beauty queen, also known as the diva, is rarely spotted in rural areas, wearing a gown or another fancy facade.
Rarely spotted. Rarely.
Yes.
You mean often spotted.
To being wealthy, because I have you in my life.
Aw, I was gonna say to no sore feet dancing all night.
For the ball this evening, I have my dress.
It's giving very Bridgerton.
It is, isn't it?
It really is.
We're late for a very important date.
If you have bangs, you know there's always those few hairs that don't want to curl the right way or hang the right way. It always feels like it's ruining. Oh wait. Okay, that's better. I was a little confused at first though. I was like,
You're like, wait, what do you mean?
Being wealthy. Who is this, Jared?
Wealth of a relationship is
Yeah.
what I'm...
Well, and all of the people that we've been interacting with, doesn't that make you just feel so alive? I don't know, being
Yeah.
around people,
Yeah.
that, like-minded people or people.
We need to hang out with people more.
I want to stuff my suitcase full of the bread and bring it home.